Okay, that's good. I've noticed even though I record, it starts recording as soon as I turn it on. I mean, not the recording, but just the Zoom. Okay, I'm gonna see if we can go live on Facebook today. Most of the time we're able to. Oh dear. Wow. Okay, let's see if I can go live without going through that. Okay. Yes. So this means I could have gone live last week. I just didn't realize it. Okay. Why is it doing that? Okay. All right. Now it's live. Okay. Next thing is to screen share. And I got a lesson in this, so hopefully it will work. I have to find it here. It's not showing up. Let me check this out. Okay. All right, I think this is it. I hope this is it. We'll find out. All right, so I'm going to optimize it. And this is what I learned. Okay, click that and start. It worked before. Let's see if it'll work now. Ah, it's not working. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop the share and figure this out, because I was taught how to do this. Okay, there it is. Let's see if that works. Ah, yes. Amazing. I don't even know how I did this, but it happened. So hopefully I can share everything. I have another slideshow. Okay, welcome to Karen Rice's Raising Happy Kids Zoom show, episode 88. Use the one rule as your solution. Okay. Oh, great. The work makes me. That's the rule. Knowing and value. I learned don't think you're in for a rough time. It's simple. It's easy. Active. It works if you use it. The one rule, start strong. You have decided that you really want harmony with your child. That sounds so good, right? Everyone feeling good and getting along. You have decided that you do not want to make your child do what they do not want to do. And you do not want to do what you do not want to do. And you're going to make this work. You have decided that you want to use the one rule to make this happen. This is going to become your new habit. You remember that when you use the one rule, you are sharing the following messages with your kids. I want us all to be happy. We are each important. Together we can solve our problems. I believe in you. I love you. I'm going to take a drink of water. To create this new habit, you are going to start with yourself and what you want. You decide that you are going to let how you feel about a situation determine whether you can agree with it or not. If it feels good, then you can agree with it. If not, you cannot. Think about a situation. Ask yourself, is this situation okay with me just as it is? If yes, your work on that is done. If no, what would have to change, be different, so that I could feel good about it? Maybe several versions of this situation would feel fine with you. Maybe only one. This exercise, this practice, helps you make a habit of following the one rule. No matter what age your kids are, this exercise helps ensure a strong start and makes following the one rule so much easier. Here is an understanding that might make the following the one rule even easier. Recently, I asked myself a question. What do I want people to feel when they are connecting with my work? I definitely want them to feel good about themselves. Then the following answer appeared, to my surprise and delight. I want people to realize that they are already using the one rule. That understanding surprised me, and as more and more of it was revealed to me, it delighted me. Of course, people are already using the one rule. I am not teaching them anything they don't know. I'm not teaching them anything strange to them. I'm just helping them expand their use of something they use daily without thinking about it. They use it. You use it. Every time you come to a decision inside of yourself, you are using the one rule. Most likely you had to consider several options or possibilities to reach that decision, even if it just took you a few seconds for you to agree with yourself. That is what I want. You also use the one rule whenever you agree with someone else. Together you come to a decision, an agreement. Yes, tomorrow I'll go to the auto parts store after I get my nails done. Even with your kids, you are using the one rule. You are coming to agreements. Think about it. Of course you are. You are just not thinking of it as a rule, as something required. So at times you are not coming to agreement. I'm here to help you think of coming to agreement as required, as a rule, as the one rule. You just expand the situations where you come to agreement until coming to agreement is just what you do and your kids do. It is the rule you and your kids follow. When you use the one rule, you are creating harmony. Your kids are creating harmony. You are becoming used to creating harmony, familiar with how good it feels to everyone involved. One point to be clear on is that even if a situation seems complicated and it seems that it is impossible to find a solution that everyone involved can feel good about, it is still possible. An important thing to remember is that there is a way for things to work so that everyone involved gets to feel good. Keep that in mind. This has been my experience whenever I have made this effort. A clear, helpful way to introduce using the one rule to your kids actually originates from the first time the children introduced me to what is now the one rule. You can do what I did. So they could understand what we were doing, I told the two little girls 3 things. 1, you are each important. Point to each person involved. You are important and you are important. And if it's your problem too, I am important. 2, you or we each deserve to feel good. 3, we are going to use the one rule to help this happen. Then tell them what the one rule is. Of course, in those days, I didn't say the one rule because it did not exist in name anyway. And that was actually where it started. When you actually start working with your kids using the one rule, helping them follow their interests is one of the easiest ways for you to start. That makes sense, right? It is also one of the most beneficial things you can do for your kids. Why is it good for your kids to do what interests them? One primary reason is that their interest is a key to helping them become the best versions of themselves that they can become. When we do what interests us, we are very engaged and focused. Think about doing something that interests you. When we are engaged and focused, what we do and produce tends to be of much better quality than if we were not interested. Interest helps result in excellence. An even more important result of being engaged and focused is that our whole being is involved in what interests us. That is why we are engaged and focused. We are experiencing harmony, inner harmony. That is a good reason to allow and encourage our kids to do what they are interested in doing. I have observed children doing what really interests them, and they become peaceful, harmonious people, even if they were not before. Now, it does not mean that everything that interests our kids is going to always interest them. They may be interested for 10 minutes or 10 days or 10 years, or even for their lifetime. The point is that they are following their interests, not the specific thing or experience that interests them, or the length of time it interests them. So if they ask for your help, please help your kids follow their interests. If for any reason you really do not want to do what they are asking you to do, that is a perfect time to use the one rule. Another reason for helping your kids follow their interests is one that is taking care of you too. When they are eager to do something instead of resisting doing it, you do not have to encourage them to do it or insist that they do it, let alone force them to do it. Think of how much of your time and energy could be available for you to use as you wish. Helping them follow their interests is actually the one rule in action, taking care of you and your kids. I'm glad you're here. Oh, I see. Okay, it says it stopped screen sharing. All right, I was gonna see if I could slip on over to the next. Let's see. I'm going to close this one up and open up the next one that I set up. Now, there might be some repetition in this. I'm not really sure. Let's see if I can even do this. Let's see. Well, we'll give it a try. As I said, I don't know how I ended up sharing. I mean, it worked, but I'm not sure how it happened. Okay. Let's see. Oh, maybe that's how. Okay. No, it's not. Let's see. No, it's not. Okay. I have another option. Let's try that. Uh-oh, it's not responding. My other option. Okay, let's see if I can get this going. All right, I'm going to try another screen share and see if this will work. Ah, it does. All right, this is the script that I have for the slideshow. Okay. So I found this last night and decided I wanted to share it with you. This goes into more detail on this show. This was the show number 12. And it goes into more detail, a lot more detail on following interests. Let's see. Today, I intend to cover how the one rule can help your kids follow their interests. We'll start with 2-year-olds. They are very active and passionately want the power to be determined, the power to persevere. I'm going to take a drink of water again. With 2-year-olds, your role in using the one rule is primarily to be a harmonious example to them. For example, let's say they have chosen to do something that you do not want them to do. This could be a conflict in the making, especially with a 2-year-old. To use the one rule and keep harmony, help them want something you agree with before they become determined. Once they are determined and are practicing being determined, exercising and developing that aspect of their willpower. If you want harmony, demonstrate that by figuring out how to go along with what they want. Trust that they are in a point of harmony and figure out how you can adjust yourself to be harmonious with the decision, with the direction they're going. Because they are in harmony. Well, if I get time, I will be sharing some of that with you after this. Let's see. Because they are just following their inner direction. And once they've made a choice, then the next step is to be determined about that choice. That's a good thing for all of us to remember about ourselves too. And then the following thing is persevering until they get what they want or something happens and they can't. But usually it's get what they want. So, I mean, that would be a good thing, right? If we got to choose, make a decision, yes, this is what I want, and then be determined that that's going to come in our lives. Okay. So that, anyway, that was to let you know that they really are in a point of harmony at that point. And so there is very likely some way, if you think about it, if you put yourself in that position, there is some way that they can continue on and you can do something, maybe be right with them or something, so that you don't create a disharmonious situation, so that you help them create a harmonious situation. That's a better way to say it. Okay. Maybe you think this is proof that I need to pay better attention to what's going on. I could have changed their focus if I'd been paying attention. Or maybe you can still change their focus. Just remember that agreement is harmony in action. Maybe you can whisk them up and quickly engage them in something else, something you like and they like. Just remember that agreement, harmony is the goal. So whatever you decide to do, make sure they agree, keep the harmony. It's so much better for everyone. It feels better, it takes less time. Think of how much time and energy it takes to force them to do what you want. Agree, and none of that trauma and trouble happens. You know your 2-year-old has been watching other family members doing various activities. Now they want to do one of those activities too. You can let them figure out how to do it on their own. If you prefer, you can show them a way to do it that you like, that you agree with. Let's say they want to be able to get their own drink of water. You want to get your own water to drink? Here's your cup. Put their cup somewhere so that they can reach it themselves. If you want them to carry it in a particular way, show them. Show them how to get the water into the cup, how to stop before the water fills the cup too full. Show them what to do with the cup and any extra water after they've finished drinking. One important thing to understand about a 2-year-old and their desire to do these familiar activities is that they use these activities to develop and coordinate aspects of themselves, like their intelligence, their will, and their physical actions. They get to use their intelligence because these activities make sense to them. They understand most of what is involved. How you can help? Show them the various steps involved in doing the activity, including how to complete the activity. They get to use their willpower to want to do it, to be determined to do it, and to persevere in their efforts, hopefully until success. If you do not want them to do this activity, be sure to help them choose another activity to use to coordinate these aspects of their personality before they are determined to do that activity. This cannot be stressed enough. It is critical in creating and maintaining harmony with a 2-year-old. They obviously get to practice the movements that are involved in doing that activity. If you show them how to do the activity, be sure to pause briefly between every 1 or 2 movements. so they can clearly see what's involved in the activity and how to perform the movements of the activity. Other kids. Establishing the use of the one rule with your other kids and between your kids can help ease your mind as you are helping your kids follow their interests, encouraging them to be self-determined, to choose what they want to do, like they did when they were 2 years old. With your older kids, at least 3 years old, it's easier to use the one rule in your interactions with them and encourage them to use the one rule when interacting with each other. With the 2-year-old, you had to do all of the work. With older kids, everyone involved helps it happen. When the one rule agreement is a common way of interacting, it's easier to trust their choices. You also know that if you have a problem with one of their choices, you can come to agreement. They know this too. It eases everyone's mind. Here is something you could do with any child who is past the 2-year-old stage to teach them the one rule. You can make it like a game or even a skit that you perform for the other family members, depending on what your family prefers, or sometimes one and sometimes another, or even just the way your family solves problems. The first time, you might say, let's play a game, or let's do a skit for the family. We're going to choose something in our family that we don't like and make it into something that we do like. Have a family issue in mind that your child is familiar with, like putting toys away. But if your child comes up with an idea, go with that if possible. I don't like milk. Okay, let's find something you and I can agree on about that. I don't drink milk. I agree with that. I've always thought that milk is important for growing children, but I don't like milk. Okay, we're looking for a way to agree on this, and for you to agree, you do not drink milk. Yes, I do not drink milk. Okay, you do not drink milk. I will find out what is good for you instead of milk. I will tell you what I find out, and we can find what we do agree to. We can do this with anything we're not agreeing with now and change it to something we do agree with. One way to help them follow their interests is to help them become independent thinkers. When they come to you asking for your help, encourage them to solve their problems, to figure out their solutions. I wonder what you can do about that. That's an interesting situation. I wonder how you might solve that. Remember, you are not always with them and able to use time and energy to provide a solution for them. The more they can solve their own problems, the more inner strength they develop. When they really want your help, of course, give it. If they ask for your opinion, you can give it also. If you think there are things they should know and understand, be sure to tell them. If you think they'd like certain experiences, be sure to offer those possibilities to them. It could make all the difference. When they need even more help, like knowing how to make some pants or use oil paints or put on a play, grow vegetables. If you have those skills, teach them. If not, encourage them to research, to find resources to help them. That might be something to do together. You might also find someone who does have those skills to teach them what to do. All the tips of helping your older kids follow their interests can apply to your teens too. However, teens are a special case. They are really beginning adulthood. Soon they might be off into the world, maybe going to college, maybe working and getting another place to live, maybe traveling. In any case, they are preparing to enter the world as adults. Here are a few things to keep in mind that could be helpful for them. Okay, I'm going to take another drink. The following is on the Happy Kids members site and could be helpful to any of your older kids. And the Happy Kids member site, if you go to www.happykidsco, that's co.org, O-R-G, you can, up at the top, you'll see a button that says join/offers. And you could go there and join the members site. It's only $1.99 a month, and you will see so many things, including trainings, articles, and videos. There's years and years of work there. So I would recommend it. In fact, it's been suggested to me that I raise the price, but that hasn't happened yet. So anyway, might want to go check it out. And I will put the link to go there in a number of different places. Yeah. Okay. Overlooked fact number 3. There's 1 and 2 are on the member site. We as adults may consider teens as children, but they are not. They are young adults. They need the opportunity to learn and develop the skills and abilities they will need as independent adults. Attitude. This is your attitude to support this. You realize and accept that it is important for your teenager to practice making their own decisions while they are still at home, while they still have your help to back them up when they make the inevitable mistakes. I know this may sound scary, but the one rule takes most of the scary out of this. Skill. Learn and practice the one rule with your teen. Overlooked fact number 4. Everyone makes mistakes. Attitude. Learn to think of mistakes as challenges or learning opportunities. Skill. When you or your teen makes a mistake, ask, what lesson or lessons do we need to learn so we don't have to go through this again? Overlooked fact number 5. You must show respect first. I know that this seems backwards, to give respect to your teen when they are not giving respect to you, but it is not. It is easiest and most powerful to do this through using the one rule. Parents serve as models of appropriate behavior for their kids. Remember, we are always examples to the children around us, and at some point they may want to try out our behavior. Realize that children observe such behavior at close range. Whatever rights and privileges adults take, children naturally feel entitled to take also from a very young age. We are their model of appropriate human behavior, and in their minds, they are definitely human and thus deserve, expect, and require all human rights. This is from Parenting for the New Millennium, Creating Friendly Families Through the Power of Respect by Karen Ryce. And actually, you can get that if you go to my old website. It's all set up on the main page, and that is happykidsco.com. The new one is happykidsco.org. Okay, attitude. This is your attitude. You are willing to be a model of respectful behavior toward your teenager by using the one rule. Skill. You use the one rule with your teen and you tell them that you are going to do this. I think that's, yeah, those are some other notes. I'm going to stop the share. Okay, now there was one other thing, actually a lot of things I wanted to share with you, but that I have set up to share. Okay. All right. Oh, what is this? No, this didn't work out. All right, I'm going to do another screen share. Let's see if I can easily find what I want here. There it is. Okay, now I don't know how many of you know, but I have this book that I put together. It includes a training and introductory chapters. But someone asked me to put together something that would be much easier to take in and to be able to use than that book. Now, for me, my first book was over 200 pages, and this new book is, I think, 101. And only 50 of it are chapters, and the rest of it is training, lots and lots of pictures. But I put together this 16-page version of that, which I call the One Rule to Raising Happy Kids mini. And this is what you get if you go to happykidsco.org and sign up with me to be on my mailing list. This is my gift to you for doing that. So today, what I will do is I don't have time to read the whole thing, but I'm going to read, I'll go through bits of it as much as I can. So you have an idea of what's in there. Why does the One Rule work? And I thought you might like to hear this. Apparently, our brain is hardwired to answer questions. When we are asked a question, our brain immediately begins searching for an answer. The One Rule is like asking our brain a question, so it immediately begins searching for an answer. We ask how we can find agreement. Okay. Anyway, there's a lot here. And we already talked about adults first, kids work. First, do you realize that children have a very important job to do, as important as any job on earth? It's their job to create an adult, specifically the adult they become. And so it goes on, talks about their developmental blueprint, adults first. We just did that one with the teens, that you need to give what you want first. And then there are benefits, like kids always feel loved. To me, that is a prime benefit. And for parents, you get what you want without struggles. You have, everybody gets to have more fun, peace and quiet, adventure, joy, learning of in there too. Side effects of the One Rule. Okay, now I put a few okay, we already did went through this. See, there's a link for the membership. Here's some pre-work in the training. Plan for calm. Timeout. This keeps coming to mind, so let's start with this. It's best if you explain to your family that in order to keep in a good mood, sometimes you are going to have a timeout. And ask them to please not bother you until your timeout is over. Where? As long as everyone is safe, choose your place. If you need to be present in the room, you might sit in a corner or even just be there, listening to something on your earbuds. Enjoyable music, something inspirational or calming. How long? Hopefully, as long as you need to get into a good frame of mind. You could decide beforehand and tell everyone, set a timer, or just tell them you'll stop when you feel good again. During your timeout, do something that is satisfying for you with the intention to feel better. Breathe slow, deep, slow breaths. Read for a while, listen to music, play music, sing. Take a shower, a bath if you can. Meditate, visualize, quiet your mind. Work out, dance, call a friend, Go work in your shop if you can. Something that makes you feel better. Then for each lessons, there are questions. Then this is, we did some of this with the 2-year-old that came out. Okay, let's see. Lesson 1, Part 1, Babies through 2-year-olds. Since you became aware that you were pregnant, you might have created a harmonious situation with them while they are still inside of you, thinking harmonious thoughts, feeling as peaceful, blissful, and flow as possible, radiating love. Once they are born, you can expand your practice of relating harmoniously with them. The one rule in action is your primary focus in terms of harmony with your child for the next 3 years, approximately. As you know, agreement is what the one rule is about. However, when dealing with babies, toddlers, and 2-year-olds, our role in the agreement is different. Remember the exercise you did in Start Strong. Well, we went through that already in the slideshow. Our role with them is to do the work. It is up to us, the adults, to find harmony with our little ones. They are finding harmony with their lives, their developmental blueprints. We didn't go through that too much. But today we won't have time. We do this by becoming used to finding what is agreeable to us and seems to be agreeable to our little ones. How do we know? They go along with it. They don't resist. They don't cry. If you are not used to doing this, it may take trial and error to start with, but you will eventually become skilled at this. It will give you time to become dedicated to finding solutions that are agreeable to all involved. Their cooperation or non-cooperation will help as a clear guideline. If they like it, they'll cooperate. If they don't, they won't. It becomes a habit, a good habit that leads to harmony. One thing to keep in mind as you are forming this habit, you never have to agree to something that you do not want. If you think about it enough, or even better, ask your inner being, you'll find something that feels okay for you to do, and you can tell that your child is comfortable with your choice. I had no background of being able to do this. I didn't even know it was a thing, but it is what felt best to me. It never felt good when I did not follow this practice, when I tried to force my kids to do as I wished without considering what they wanted. Now I know it is a thing. It is following the one rule, finding agreement, finding harmony. I'm using the age of 3 years old as a guideline. It is not meant strictly. As soon as your child is able to accept easily that you might need something to be different than what they want, then you can go for agreement with them. They can relate to, just a minute, they can relate to, I need a drink of water before we go. Then you can point out, you are important and I am important, and I am important, and we both deserve to have a good time. So let's figure out how we can do that. Then you can make a suggestion unless they come up with something that sounds good. There are some questions and a link to the membership. Okay, we've been through this. We gave a good look at this, but this part I want to go over with you if we have time. Agreement, not sacrifice. Of all that I've discovered and created to create harmony with kids, the one rule is the simplest and most powerful strategy I've come across so far. It's a clear, simple version of what I actually did to create harmony with kids, my kids, their friends, the kids I worked with. The one rule is not to make you agree, it's to help you, support you as you find something that you all easily agree to. Too often the habit is to insist on what you want, no matter what anyone else wants, or to give in to others, no matter what you want. The one rule changes this. When you become aware that there are differences between you, decide to use the one rule to find a harmonious solution to your differences. You are not giving up on your personal desire. You are expanding it to include someone else, like your child. The one rule expands everyone's goal to include harmony and the satisfaction of all involved. When you use the one rule, you are committed to finding a solution that everyone involved can agree to, because it is a solution that is satisfying to everyone. This is what you commit to when you use the one rule. Everyone involved happily agrees with the solution. That is the rule. I call it happy agreement. Today, just think about this. Neither you nor your kids are expected to have to agree to something you do not like or that is disappointing. You agree on something that you like, something that pleases you. Okay. Once you are convinced that the one rule is as strong as I know it to be, you know you can rely on it to get you back to harmony with the kids in your life. The one rule is so powerful, just using it can help you get to harmony. Okay, that's the end of today's show. I'm going to scoot this up here since we're doing screen share. And this is taken from the new website. It feels like the essence of the whole thing to me. The one rule, because we are each important. Okay, everyone. I wish you a great week and that you enjoy using the one rule. And go check out happykidsco.org. All right. And sign up for the membership. Help keep all of this going.